today's live session. So we are going to begin in earnest, all right? So I have information about the program that we have been talking about for the past few weeks. It's finally coming together, and I'll give information as I speak, all right? Okay. So today will not, I don't think we have much. I'll just give some one or two things what I'm looking out for, and then we're going to call it a day. All right. So if you're just joining us, you're welcome. I've greeted everybody. I've done a shout out. So let's jump into what we have for today. Okay. All right. So today's news. Okay. So we saw what happened on the news yesterday now. We saw how the market was jumping around yesterday. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Very loud and clear.
Okay. We saw how the market was very, volatile yesterday. Okay. It was due to the news release, all right? All the USD pairs were just jumping, up and down. And then at least we know that it was discussed here that at so and so time, this kind of things will occur. Is that okay? So that's what happened with the USD, all right? And then today being the 26th of November, we have another news. Unemployment claim is also a very powerful news, okay? All these other ones have already happened. If you check the NZD currencies, AUD currencies, around midnight, it experienced a lot of momentum. It was due to the economic release that it was here. And then okay, so 1:30 there's GBP news, and then 2:30 there's USD news. So at that times we know how to react to that. Okay. So that's that. So let's go into the charts. Let's go into the charts. What do we have for the charts? So I'll just start with the euro. What's happening on the euro? Okay. Okay, so we see that the euro we're still trying to sell, and then we had an area. We had an area where we wanted to trade from. Just between here and here. I wanted to take a trade from our premium price. Okay. We had something here that was drawn at this point. But we said that this area here, this expansion that occurred here was still in the discounted price, and that's not good enough. Okay, so we wanted price to trade into the more premium zones, which is from the 50% to 100. Okay, from here then we can trade downward. So that was our lookout. And so yeah, the news yesterday, you can see the long candle just brought in a lot of momentum at this point, and then we're able to find ourselves in the premium zones. Okay, so that's good. Now, what's the next line of action? Today, on the daily time frame, what do you see? You see that we have taken the previous day high, but currently there's no information. And remember that I said that when we are trying to sell, yeah, and then we see the previous day's high being taken, that's always a very good sign that we are looking that we're going to join up the sales. Good. So today has swept yesterday's high. So at least yeah, that yesterday's low too should be looking at where price is going to go to trade to. All right. So that's step one. Now, step two is that the H4 should give us the alignment like this. Okay. So we need a strong expansion to the downside. So we need an injection of momentum from Euro USD with this candle, or maybe the next series of candles. All right. We can get the next series of candles to close bearish like this, and then we take this place. If you check the line chart, it will now look like something like this. So this is exactly what it will look like. Okay. So now we have visualized what we want Euro USD to do. So if it does all of this, all we have to do is to react to the information. So you see that we have eliminated any form of gambling. All right. You see that we have some level of control, about how we trade because we have already visualized it. We're here when we talked about price needing to come to the premium areas before we sell. Now it is in the premium areas. Now, in alignment to what I said, the daily high is now being swept. The previous day high is being swept. So if I can now get H4 to do something like this, then this would be a nice place to do what? To take trades from up till this place and even up till this drawn liquidity. Is that okay? So you see the way we build our trade from a plain chart to something that is meaningful. So that is the view. If Euro USD decides to do something like this, then that means that sell is not going to happen. At least not anytime soon. Okay. But if we can get, this break of structure, I would be very much interested in looking to sell Euro USD up till this low. I'll be down till this low in this case. Okay. So that's that. And GBP USD to experience a very strong push to the upside. So we don't have anything yet. Okay, we don't have anything yet. Let me see the weekly. And let me say something. Oh, okay. Wait. What's happening on the Euro USD monthly? Give me a second, please. Oh wow. Oh wow. Now I don't really check the monthly time frame. Hmm? I don't really check the monthly time frame, but I'm seeing something on the monthly. And in fact, I don't even trade itself. But every now and then my hand used to mistakenly touch it. And I will see something. Are you seeing what's happening on the monthly time frame? Are you seeing this? So you see that it should come for here. Are you seeing that? But I don't really trade the monthly. So let's see if the weekly comes to do something like this, comes to break above here, that means whatever sell that we're trying to sell is not going to work. This is going to happen instead. Okay. So you see the way I have been able to be flexible enough. All right. Now, since I don't really trade the monthly time frame, if the weekly for some reason should have a stronger push, and then we close above this place like this with a body, we are just going to retrace down and then we're going to buy on the lower time frames. Is that okay? So we are going to keep an eye on that. But for now, we are here. The monthly, the reason I don't really deal with monthly is that it's too big. Okay, before a move occurs and this and that, it will take weeks before I get an expansion. Since I'm trading the monthly time frame now, it will take weeks before I get an expansion, and that's just a lot of waiting. We're already waiting enough from the daily time frame. If I'm trading daily time frame, I need just what I need about 4 hours to confirm expansion, Abi, and then I can now go to H1 and maybe M45 to look for entries. If I'm trading the weekly, I'll need a day to give me an expansion. Then I can continue with the H4 to H1. But if I'm now trading monthly time frame, that means I'll need a week or two to give me an expansion. And no, 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 no. That's too long. All right. So that's that. So let's be open-minded about this guy. If we don't have expansion, rather we start doing like this, it just shows that maybe price is trying to align with what the monthly time frame is saying. So we will now do what? We will now switch our bias to trade alongside the new information we have gotten. Okay. Very good. So that's that for euro and GU. So let's go on to gold. Let's go on to gold. Okay. Gold is doing something, 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 something. So let me analyze everything afresh. So we know we are still bullish. We know that we are still bullish on gold, right? This was the last break of structure, and we should be coming for this high. So we have our drawn liquidity. So you see that before we even have a trade, we already know where price should be trading to. Okay, so this is a very good reason for us to look for trades up till this point. Okay, good. Now, yeah, yes, is it yes? Not yesterday, no. I think a few days ago, of course, we started having all the mitigations. Price did this, and they're having a new expansion. Good. Now, our last trade was somewhere from Our last trade was we reacted from this other block, then the trade was from somewhere here. Good. Yesterday we had a buy. Mr. Jerry called a buy. I'm coming to that level. Okay. But I saw something on the 4 hours time frame. I don't know if you can see it with me. We have this guy. Are you seeing that area? Look at the line chart. Look at how nice it looks on the line chart. Price played around here, and then finally broke that area. So it makes this zone to become what? To become a key level. Okay, it's only known as a key level because I can classify that area as a key level because of what? Because of the way price interacted with the area. So we were here, and then price now broke that area. Now, so let's say like solidify my idea, this area now was what? Look at we had a fair value gap here. Can you see we had a fair value gap, right? And then this brother here is now serving as what? It's now serving as inducement. Can you see the way this trade is looking now? Are you seeing we are building the direction? Now we know that we already have a drawn liquidity to trade to. Now we just need expansions so that we can be trading. After every expansion, we retrace. After every expansion, like when we expand, we retrace. When we expand, we retrace, expand. So every expansion is a cue to join the trade. Every expansion is a cue to join a trade. Good. Now, moving forward, we have this area like this that we expanded. And now, see, now watch please watch this. We now have a new expansion. I don't know if you are seeing it. We have a new expansion here. Every H4 expansion is of utmost importance to us because we look at the most recent expansion. Okay. Now, let's check the 1 hour time frame. What did the 1 hour time frame say? Do we have this thing? Do we have a fair value gap? Yes, we do. Let me check the 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours has fair value gaps. They're all over the place. Let's check 3. Oh, okay. 3 is very nice. So there is every reason for gold to want to come down to this fair value gap area and buy. Let me see too. I want somewhere I can draw from. So I want something like an expansion. Let me check H1. Let me check 45. Let's use the H1. Let's use the H1, something like this, even though it's a little bit in the premiums, but let's look at it like this. Good. Now, what's the view? I said that every expansion is a cue to join a trade, all right? So this happened to be an expansion. Please, if I am cracking, please just let me know. Okay, please, if I'm cracking, just let me know early enough, please. Zoom is telling me that my connection is unstable. All right. So every expansion, right, is a reason to join the trade. So after having this 4 hours expansion that we have here, that is this one that we had here like this, we have gone ahead to do what? To have a new expansion. And if you are paying attention, you will notice that another expansion is even trying to form. I don't know if you are seeing it. Another one is trying to form here. The thing is, I can see it without going to line chart. But for the purpose of this call, I'll do something like this. I see. Another expansion is trying to form, but it has not yet finished forming because we still have about 2 hours and 35 minutes. So let's stick with the one that has already formed. Good. Now, in alignment with that, we had what? We had fair value gap and some form of inducement here. Okay. So if we're taking this trade, it's going to look like this, but I'm going to give you my bots because I don't want to just give a trade and not
Okay.
give you my. So we should come for this high. This high first is our first TP1, but you should trade till all of these highs and then lastly this high. Okay, so this is the final TP for the trade. Okay, so that is let me say the daily time frame. What the daily time frame is saying? Okay, all right. So we are trying to break structure now. Now to my bot, 1 hour has given us the entry. Everything is fine. The only problem with this trade for me is that this area is looking like trend line liquidity. Is that okay? Well, if your system permits you to take the trade, please, by all means, all right? We can do that. It's just that for me, this area looks like trend line liquidity for me. Okay. Look at it, this here to here. So now what we are going to do is we are not going to enter this trade straight off the limit like that. Let price drop inside this guy. When price drops inside and actually give us a reason. Now I can give us the license to go to 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay. When price trades inside this guy, and does something like this, then this is a cue for us to join. Anyhow, even if we get stopped out, we know that maybe it's just because price wants to come for this place. At least we have more reason, more conviction to trade. I don't know if you are getting my point. So I'm going to recap. We have an expansion here on the H4. Okay, we have H4 expansion here, right? And now we have another H4 expansion here. And I said what? I said that every expansion is a cue to join a trade. All right, good. So inside this H4 expansion now, we zoom in to see what price did there, if we can see an entry area. Yes, we can see. We can see that we have this expansion on the 1 hour time frame. We have fair value gap, we have inducements. So those are three reasons to look for trade around that area. The only thing that is, making this trade shaky is this trend line liquidity. All right. Now the thing is, this trend line here has never really stopped trade from happening. Okay, if you recall our is it AUDCHF trade from the past and some other few ones, just very few. We have had times where price did something like this, printed liquidity, still came back, used there and move. That is what I'm saying. This guy is still very valid to trade. But what we are going to do now to be on the safer side is when price drops back inside this guy, we can use M30 or M15. All right. When we see a change like this, and then we close, we can now do what? We can now trade from there. So our TPs for this trade, number one, is going to be, this one is the first TP. This guy is going to be the TP1. Let me see if I can write, middle center. So this is going to be TP1. If this trade is going to trigger, this is going to be TP1. This guy is going to be TP2. And then this last one, why is it big like that? And then this last one is going to become what? The TP3. All right. So please just follow the way we have built it. Okay. All right. So that's what the trade is going to look like. Okay. TP1, 2, and 3. All right, that's it. So I'm going to take a few minutes now, or just a few seconds to talk about the program. So we have been talking about the program that is coming up, the training that is coming up. So we're trying to look at a situation where we can, it's the first time we are doing something this robust. Okay, normally we do trainings, of course, that. We do trainings, we do the beginners training, we do the intermediate sessions, and then of course people that look out for private stuff, we actually offer that too. But this one we are doing, so it's somewhat like a boot camp, but what we are giving out in the boot camp is more than is a lot. Let me not say it's more, is a lot. We're giving out basically everything in this boot camp. So as a way to make it affordable, we decided to bring down the price so that we can take more people, so that we can at least try to satisfy a lot of us that join this session, because I know that there are people that join these sessions that want to know how to trade and probably dissect any market. And then you can see that I use the system to trade currencies, to trade indices, synthetic indices, cryptocurrency, and everything. So what you're getting is a full strategy. We are teaching you a strategy from top to bottom. Now, there's a lot of strategies out there. There's a lot of noise. People try to learn from YouTube. Now, it's not bad. The problem with this thing, let me tell you the truth of what happens with YouTube. These creators, these mentors on YouTube, let me say their system has, inducement, system has fair value gap, their system may have order block, their system may have liquidity, so many things. So now what do? They come and teach, maybe today they will drop a video on inducement. Tomorrow they'll drop a video on fair value gap, just understanding the concept alone. Next tomorrow they'll drop a video on order block, then they'll drop a video on liquidity. Now, what they have not told you is a way to put everything together on the chart and trade. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So they have never told you how to put, okay, how do I put this liquidity with the fair value gap and everything together and trade? Is that okay? Now, that is what we want to do for us now. Okay. So instead of, us going around in circles, watching this particular person today, watching this one tomorrow, we were putting together the strategy from top to bottom. Is that okay? So we are teaching everything at once so that you can come to the market, any market at all, even if you trade crypto. Somebody told me to analyze GR40 yesterday, and exactly what I said is playing out. Let me show you. GR4, this is something I don't really analyze, but sometimes people ask me to do it, and I do it, and I don't even have any problem with any market. So why I came here, I came to the weekly time frame. This was a low here. I said that the way we took this low, this is a sign that we are going to buy. And now on the daily time frame, what happened? As at the time, price was still somewhere here. I said that we are going to need this high to go because of what happened from here. And then we also had something here. If you are vigilant enough, you see that we had what? We had the low of the previous day being swept. So that means the high needs to go. So are you seeing the way we are using our system from currencies to indices to literally every other thing? Okay. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to put it together and then teach within the month of November, but we have decided officially to start the training on the first day of December. Is that okay? So we should round it up last week of December at most. Okay, at least we should round it up the training at last week of December so that we can go into 2026 with a fresh with a fresh with a fresh skill. Is that okay? So now the topics that will be covered, we're going to cover structure, we're going to cover liquidity, we'll cover key levels. We are covering all the kinds of key levels, okay? And then we're going to do what we call framing bias. Framing bias means, okay, how do I put everything together? That's basically what framing bias is. You are framing bias to get direction on the market. Because if I just teach you structure, if I just teach you liquidity and key levels now, you need to be able to frame bias to get directions that you now apply those three things I mentioned so that you can do what? You can trade. And then when we finish framing bias, we're going to do what? We're going to do the structure alignment. Then we'll now do time frame configuration, the time frames how you can toggle time frames so that you are able to still be in line with with how you're supposed to trade and where you're supposed to trade to. Okay. And then we'll touch entries. We have different entry models. It's nothing ambiguous. We're going to break it down to the simplest form for the entry model so that you know exactly why we are entering a trade at the point where we are entering it. And then, of course, one of the most important things that people don't talk about out there on social media is trade invalidation criteria. Trade invalidation. I'm seeing a trade now, okay? What is the reason for this trade to not play out? Okay, you have analyzed the trade, you know that, okay, this trade can buy. But then you check again, just before you press the buy or you press the sell, you check, is this trade invalidated or is it still valid for me? That's something that I noticed that we don't really talk about, in the space, in the industry. So we're going to be teaching us how to gauge our trades to know if this trade is valid or if it is invalid. It's a very, very important topic. Is that okay? Because personally, I was able to frame bias. I was able to get direction. But I'll take a trade and a trade will fail. And I'm like, why is this trade failing? And of course, are you going to study and then you learn things. So these things that we have learned is what we are giving out to people so that you can collapse time in trading. Collapsing time in trading simply means the time that you're using to learn and learn and learn and learn. Somebody else has already done that. So why not just get what the person has done, use his data and then help yourself instead of going through the rigorous process of learning. Okay. So we're going to teach trade invalidation and of course, risk management and trade management. So those are the topics that we're going to be covering from the first day of December. So it's going to be very, very packed, and you don't want to miss out on the program that is coming. It's very, very cheap because if you go else, it's not a beginners program. It's not a beginners program. It's not even intermediate program. Okay, it's not beginner. It's not intermediate. You are bringing people that sorry, we are trying to work with people that already even know these things, but they want something that is solid and something that can stick. Is that okay? And that's what we are doing. We are putting together a full-on strategy that you can approach any market at any time. So the details are on the individual groups. And then, of course, if you missed it and you want details, all you just do is reach out to me on the WhatsApp group. The person that posts the live session update is me. So you just reach out to me and then I'm going to send you the details for the mentorship or the training. Okay. So let's try to be there. Let's try to be there. That's our gift to us this Christmas. Okay. So aside the signals that we are calling, we're also putting together this training. After this training this December, the price is going to go back to where it was before. Okay. After the training this December, the price is going to go back to what it was. And actually, the price is more than double what we are putting together for you this December. So please, okay, for your own good, because I like when I'm analyzing sessions like this and people are seeing things, asking the right questions, and of course, posting their rewards or their trades on the group. It's always I like it a lot. It's very, very rewarding to me. I really love when I come to the group and I see somebody is posting their profits. It's always very good. And it's going to be online. Okay, it's online. I'm seeing a question is going to be virtual. All right. So we're going to be having sessions all through the week so that we dissect it together. So it's going to be very, very comprehensive. So see you there. All right. So reach out to me on the group, and then I will take care of every question. Okay. Let's continue. Where were we? We just finished doing AUDC. Okay, we're doing the euros. Okay, we did gold rather. Okay, we did gold. We did gold. So gold, we're looking at TP 1, 2, 3. So all right. So let's be on the watch out for. Let's be on the watch out for that. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, I'm seeing the questions. Just no problem. Let me drop my number. Let me drop my number on the chat box. This one is not beginner session. No. Well, it's good for beginners because as a beginner, I honestly wish that I had somebody that just pointed me in the right direction from the onset because I kid you not. If I tell you I suffered, believe me, I suffered. So you just need the right information to just point you so that you don't have to stress and go through all the boring process of learning, unlearning, and it's very, very stressful. Okay, so GJ is looking interesting. GJ is looking interesting. So GJ is looking interesting. So we have a high. We took the high with the body, and then we drew something here. We drew this line. Why did we draw this line? If you have been following us religiously, you know that this line was one of the last expansions that funded the break of structure. That's why we drew this line. Okay. And now you see the way price reacted to the line. Okay. And now moving forward, we had what series of expansions. So what did I say? I said an expansion is a cue to join a trade. So we have this. What do you see again? We had another expansion. See the way price came from this place to buy. We had another one here. Price did a retracement, did not really give an entry model. But now we have another expansion here. So this is not a bad zone for GJ to trade from. Okay. So that's why you see what is currently on my screen. Okay. This is not a bad place for GJ. And then you know that since we are taking from here, GJ has every tendency to trade from here, to trade till this point, and then even till this higher point. Let me show you where that one is coming from. Let's go. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. You see where we're coming from now? So you know that GJ should trade all the way till this drawn liquidity, which is here. All right. So that's like our TP2. So what's TP1? TP1 is the most recent high here. Okay. So this is GJ's trade for today. This is where GJ's trade is coming for today. So like this entry model now, we are going to talk about it. Why am I drawing this line from here? There's actually a reason why. It's not because I feel like drawing the line from there. No, there's a reason why this line is drawn from here. So we're going to, show you exactly why we are doing that. Okay. So this is the view for GJ today. Hopefully we can get a push down in here and then we buy. Okay. So that's that. Get positioned. Okay. What else do we have? GBP card. What's happening on this brother? Let's see. JB Card did a very nice buy. Remember that we are very bullish on JB Card since before price touched this guy. Since before price touched this guy. Can you see? So what did we do here? We had a mitigation of this guy, and then we started buying. And what price was simply doing here? It was trying to accumulate and generate and sweep liquidity. Okay, so this was what? This was a liquidity, a low. Price came and swept it, but this was not enough. So price has swept that low again, and then it's now been enough to come and break this high. Good. So now what's the next line of action for JB Card? Let me see. So this was the expansion on the daily time frame. Okay. Now the daily can actually, let me see. Is there a fair value gap? Yes, there is on the 4 hours. Okay. Now today can do something like this. Today can close like this. Tomorrow now comes, sweeps yesterday's low, and now does what? And now starts buying all the way till this point. Okay, so currently there is nothing. So I really love this candle to not touch here so that it can serve as what? It can serve as inducement. Okay, in the mentorship, we'll talk about single candle inducement, and then the other kind of inducements that we have. All right. So I want here to sweep as liquidity, and then we touch here, and then we start buying up till this point. Okay, so that's that. So if this place does not hold, I have something down here for us. Look at this, CDH4. What do you see here? I can see a sweep and break formation. I can see a QMR formation. Good. So this is the sweep of this last liquidity point. Price did what? Price broke structure here. And then this guy here is serving as what? Is serving as inducement. Can you see? I see the QMR. So, this one is a little bit in the premium pricing, all right? So if this place does not give us the trade that we want, because if I get on the list tomorrow, best believe I'm going to trade to this point. But if it does not give me, it just means that price is coming back for here. This is like the last bus stop. Here is the protected low, and then we're going to trade from here till this high. So those are the two zones I'm looking out for. Okay? And then, of course, here I need a confirmation, H4, and then H1 should give me a trade here. And then this one too is another zone that I'm looking out for possible trades. Okay. All right. What else? GA. What's the time? Okay. All right. So GA is looking the same way. I have 2 points for GA also. Number one is this fair value gap. And then number two is this full-on sweep and break situation that's happening here. Can you see that? So we had sweep and break here to sweep. We break here. We break all these zones with this guy liquidity. So if you're going to be taking any trade here, please enter via confirmation, all right? Because we have 2 points of interest. When we have 2 points of interest like this, we like confirmation, all right? Good. So when we do something like this, we get something on the lower time frame, H1, M30, we are going to buy. Else, price just wants to come, sweep this liquidity, tap here, and buy. Okay? All right. What else? What else do I have? I've done GJ, I've done gold. Okay, yeah. I think this should be, this guy is not doing well again. Kai. There's something that was really cooking on that guy that was looking good. Something was cooking. So let me show you. Now, you remember we had a trade on this guy that did very well. Now, of course, you know that when your trades, always learn to manage your trade. I know some of us don't manage our trades well. There is no way you have this good move that happened here and then you still end up losing the trade. It's wrong, okay? It's wrong. Even at most, if you are not taking profits, if you're not securing partials, at least secure your trade in break even so that you don't have to go through this. But something happened here. Let's clear this chart. Something happened here. On the daily time frame now, stay with me. What do you see? I'm seeing something here. This was a low. This was a major low, right? This was a swing low. This guy acted like a swing. So this low now is of utmost importance to me. So what the price do? See the way price came and closed here with a wick. So I wanted something was cooking that was very, very interesting to me. We have a 4 hours fully bullish engulfing candle formation. So we can look to buy. But this candle as that before the live session occurred or started, it was looking like a new expansion like this. So I wanted price to just come down like this and then we buy, as in we buy long-term buy. But you see why I used to wait for, sorry, you see why I used to wait for my candle to close. Imagine I just rush to enter a buy and then I start seeing this huge retracement. So what I'm going to wait for, since we have taken a major low, let the H4 give me something like this. The moment H4 gives something like this, we're going to buy long term. Okay, so we have called it here. We are going to buy long term. So all we have to do is wait for it to give us a proper alignment. This fully bullish engulfing candle, let me see what it looks like on the 1 hour. You see, on the 1 hour, it's still shaky because we have this high that we should have at least, taken at least so that we can do, yes, we are finally ready to buy. Okay, so currently just wait. Wait, let the H4 do something like this, give us something, then we can now officially start buying this Euro GBP. Okay, so that's that. Euro AUD is coming back for our two zones that we pointed out yesterday. Remember the zones that we pointed out yesterday, here and here. So because we have two zones, we don't like to just, risk like that. When we get something on the lower time frame, this will now be our cue to join the trades. Okay. So there's a reason why we do confirmation. We don't do it all the time, of course. You know that when a trade is ready, we go ahead and place the trade. Okay, just like the GJ that I've talked about. You can just go ahead and place that kind of trade. But there are other trades that you need it to actually give you more information before you activate the trade. Okay. So lastly, okay, CAD JPY. Let's look at this guy. Something happened on CAD JPY. You see, we closed here with a body. Okay. So what is the last expansion that funded that break of structure? It was here, right? Good. So let's look at what price is doing there. You see that price came and gave an inducement just around that place. Can you see? And then price now tapped on it yesterday, closed with a wick, and then started doing what? And then started retracing. Good. Now we are looking at buying CAD JPY, but it's not ready yet, okay? Because we don't have a clear and obvious expansion that is happening. So you see this high here, we can clear these highs. We can clear this high with a body of the candle like this. Then now at that point, we can confirm that we have an expansion. Then you know that everything that's happening here is just price looking for ways to buy. And now you see that we also have what? We also have a draw on liquidity inside. So before you take a trade, check, is there a draw on liquidity? Is there a place I'm targeting? Do I have a targeted area before I take a trade? All right. So we have everything in check. And if we finally get this expansion, and then a pullback to buy to somewhere to buy, then we should be buying up till this brother. Is that okay? So that's that. Okay, I've done every other thing. Okay, so AUD CHF, let's talk about this guy briefly. This one is not, I'm not calling it trade. I want to just talk about this AUD CHF. Now, we remember this trade that we had here. And remember, we had a very nice sell. We had a very nice sell. It was called here on this live session. We made money on this sell. It's very good. Now, we all of a sudden, we're selling, of course, we have been selling for a long time. But now we notice that price has slowly been creeping back up. So I ask myself, why? What's going on? Why this, because here was supposed to hold at least this area, supposed to hold at least long-term sales. But price closed impulsively here and is even trying to expand again. So I decided to check the weekly, what's happening on the weekly time frame. And that is where I saw that something is happening that can try to affect those cells, and that is this. Can you see? Using our candle theory, right? We know that if the low of the candle is being swept with a wick, like what you have here, price is likely going to come for where? Going to come for the high. Can you see that? Good. Now, if the weekly low is being swept like this, is it not here that price should come from? Okay, good. So now on the daily time frame, what do you see on the daily? You see that we're having series and series of expansions. Look at it. let me draw it from the line chart since people may not see the way I see it. We had series and series of expansion. So this was expansion 1, this was expansion 2. Now we are trying to expand again. I don't know if you are seeing that. I don't know if you are seeing what I'm saying. So you see that after this expansion, price came back for this place and then bought, right? After this expansion again, price gave some deeper pullbacks and then bought. So are you seeing that today, if today should close the way it's looking now, right? There may be a pullback to these areas and then we continue buying. I don't know if you are seeing what I'm saying. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to explain. Okay? You see, we swept here on the H4, we swept here. So this low now, at least for now, is protected. So there's every tendency that if we close bullish today, maybe tomorrow we can start having pullbacks before we buy. And then if you are vigilant enough, you'll see that we have what? This guy here. See this expansion here with what? With fair value gap and inducement that's cooking up around there, even though it's not ready yet. So these are possible reasons. These are kind of invalidations for our sell trades. Yes, I was looking at a sell from at least maybe somewhere here, looking at a sell for somewhere here. But seeing that weekly swept this low, and with tendency to come for this high, this my sell, I'm going to be very cautious about what happens here, knowing that price has every reason to trade till this guy. Can you see? Are you seeing the way we are able to be very flexible? And then remember that trade I took on GBP CHF that hit SL. Let me show you. Same thing happened. Now, I was trying to sell GBP CHF from here. Sorry. I was trying to sell GBP CHF from this place. Yes. Yeah, of course, you can see it started giving me a good reaction. Because that's the thing about the market. It's always give you a good reaction so that you will be more, should I say, more convinced on your position. Now let's go to the daily. Is it the weekly? I think it was. Let me check the monthly. Yes. See what happened on the month. This market always give you information. Are you vigilant enough to follow? See what happened on the monthly time frame. Are you seeing that? So as at the time, well, of course, there's nothing I would have done there because I don't really trade the monthly time frame. Because at the time I came to the market, all I saw was this. So my trade was a very good trade. It's just that it failed. So there's nothing to feel bad about. There are times you will take trades and it will just fail. Sometimes you are wrong, sometimes you are not wrong. The market just decided to change direction as at the time you entered the trade. Is that okay? So these are things that you experience. It's not your fault. Okay. Sometimes you acknowledge that it's your fault. Sometimes it's not your fault. Okay. The market just decided to change character. Good. So the fact that we swept monthly low here and price was actually looking to expand. So you see that it has, okay, no, on the weekly. Let me go to the weekly. So if what's today? We have 2 days left. If this week should close like this, can you see that monthly information that we had here has finally been agreed on the weekly time frame? So weekly has said, oh, okay, sir, I'm with you. I agree to what you have said and let us buy. So GBCHF can very most likely do something like this and continue buying in the coming weeks. Because what? Because monthly has given the call that we should buy. Is that okay? So that is what happened on that trade. I said something that I saw something on the 4 hours that probably should have stopped me from taking the trade. So I acknowledge my fault at that point. But for the reversal, there's nothing I would have done to prevent it because I don't trade monthly. Okay, so I just went to see that, oh, something happened on the monthly time frame. So I was able to, understand why the trade continued bullish. Okay, so that is that from me today. I hope we had an impactful session. So I'll just recap what we are doing for our training. We are beginning officially on the 1st of December. Okay, 1st of December, we're starting our first class. So you should try to register before then. Okay. So like I said, my number is on the group chat. If you don't have my number, feel free. If you want to reach out to me, rather, text me on WhatsApp. Okay. My number is on the group, and then we are going to, fill you into the group to get positioned. All right. So we're going to be learning a lot. It's a very discounted price for what we're actually giving out. Okay, we're giving out a lot of information, and we want people to be able to get prepared. Mr. Tango, just text my number is on the is just above your chat. Just text that number that is above. Okay. The information is on the group, but you can just text me and then I'll get you positioned. Okay. All right, thank you. So we are doing a lot. And of course, when we cross over to 2026, the price is going to revert to what it was today. So let us try to make December count for ourselves and for our trading. Okay. So once again, it's a nice time. I greet you specially, Biola, greetings, Branded Ben, Bridget, Clinton, Daily Pips, Damasus, Diek Jong, Emmanuel Ogale Freke, Mr. Henry, I can see Jeremiah Abu, Oga Femi, how's it going? Well done. Oluti, I greet you, Paulinos, Precious and Victor, Samuel Uke, Sunday Ekpeme, Sonny Blaze, well done. I greet you. Oga, thank God. Well done. Omar Farouk and the Zoom user. Okay. Thank you very much. Oga Femi don't talk about take advantage because next year we no go we no go do like that again next year. Okay. All right. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.